What's up, guys? So this video was a complete fail. I wanted to see if I could get these Harbor Freight knives and swap the blades, because if you saw the other videos I did on them, the one had a nice little bearing system in there, as well as, you know, the other one had the grip texture. One had the plain edge blade, which I liked. This one had the combo edge. Just want to swippy swap them. You know, a lot of people were curious to see if you were able to actually swap them. I want to say probably yes. However, as I was taking these apart, making this video, the first 20 minutes of this, whatever, complete fail. Ripped my hand open here, not with the blade, but with my Torx driver. Actually, I have two Torx drivers, because on this one here, the pivot screw, the female and the male, are stuck together. All right, I hit this with heat already. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the Loctite, because the other one didn't even have any Loctite on the pivot. They had Loctite on one of the body screws. Long story short, I'm wrenching on it, and it, as I'm trying to get these things to twist, it went right over, slipped off the knife, or jammed into my middle finger here. So a little bloody, a little scraped up. Most times when I cut myself, it's not from knives. I don't cut myself on knives very often. Knock on wood there. I get paper cuts when I'm dealing with paperwork. I'll get a cardboard cut occasionally. It's really ridiculous. I'll literally have a knife and I'll be testing and cutting cardboard for 5-10 minutes, and then while throwing the cardboard away, I'll slice my finger. Not the knife, just the paper. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. I was not able to get this apart because the pivot screws stripped out. Okay, so I was close. I got the body screw off, but I can't get this apart. I was going to try to swap the blades here. So I don't really know if I could swap the blades. Perhaps in the future, maybe I'll get another couple of them and play around with it. But for now, I'm pretty much done. But I will tell you, this is a great opportunity to save parts. Someone actually mentioned, I think on the other video, I saw a comment basically saying that they're worth buying literally just for the hardware and the pocket clips. And that person was absolutely right. When you have a cheap knife, and unfortunately this is garbage. I'm just gonna wrap the blades up so, I don't cut the garbage man or wherever they end up. Put some cardboard around it, some tape. But this is just gonna go right into the trash. I have no use for, broken knives. I could put the other body screws back in this one, but what's the point? I don't need another cheap knife like this. So it's just trash for me. However, I did save a lot of the hardware. I did save, the little bearings, so I could show you that real quick. Get this stuff to move around a little bit. See if I can zoom in there for you. So you can see the little bearings that were in the one model here. All right. So, I have a couple of body screws there. I got a pivot screw set. I got two pocket clips, so I have a little parts kit here. So anyway, the point of this video really was to say that I couldn't swap these because I stripped out the screws, and they're total junk. The hardware is complete junk on these knives, but there's always a silver lining. Even though I tried this and completely failed and bled for the cause for no reason, I did end up with some parts. All right, so it's always nice. So if you happen to have cheaper knives out there and you're gonna throw them out or whatever, or just have no use for them, and need the parts from those knives, it's always good to save it. You never know when you're gonna need like a random screw from something, So I do actually keep a bunch of different knife parts, especially from cheaper knives, but even more so if, like, let's say I remove the pocket clip from a more expensive knife or something, I'll bag it, I'll label it, I'll save it, because you never know. And I have dipped into my parts drawer. Right now it's pretty much like a totally miscellaneous. There's all kinds of keychains and parts and springs and screws and all kinds of stuff. Basically a gear junk drawer for all intent purposes. But I do go in there occasionally, and sometimes I get lucky. It's just kind of like if you have a garage or a shed or something, and you have that jar full of like random screws, different threads, different lengths, different size heads. You never know. It's just good to save that stuff. You never know if it's going to come in handy. So maybe I'll end up using some of the stuff in the future. So totally bummed by this, but hey, like I said, there's always a little something good that can come out of a bad situation. And in this case, it's just some extra parts. So that's all. Unfortunately, I was not able to swap these. Although looking at it, I do kind of feel like you could swap them if you wanted. Let's see, let me see if I can break this off. Here we go. Some G10. I was trying to Yeah. Now let's gonna pull this piece away to get the screw. Well, there we go. All right, so the piece is off. It's gonna get some leeway here so I can wiggle this around and look inside here a little bit better. Again, it's really unfortunate to break this stuff, but I just wanted to wiggle it enough. Like I said, those heads are totally stripped now. To look at these washers, because this just has some Teflon washers in there. And I really feel like that space for the Teflon washers is the same as pretty much these little bearings. You know, these little, well, I should say bearing system. It's a tiny little plate. All right, you can see it right there. Just a little metal plate that has some teeny tiny little ball bearings. But I really do feel like you could swap these. So if you happen to have both knives, or if you want to spend like, you know, 15 or 16 bucks on buying both knives and try this, you're certainly welcome to do so. Come back in the comments, let me know how it worked out for you. I do feel confident that you could probably swap them. That's what I was trying to do, if yours doesn't strip out. Unfortunately, they're cheap knives. They're very, very cheap hardware in there, which is very soft. And like I said, I don't know what the deal was. It doesn't seem like it's Loctite. But you don't know, maybe it is Loctite. I tried hitting it again with some heat just from a hair dryer, but it wasn't enough to loosen anything up, and it's just stripped out. It's just super, super soft metal for those pivot screws and stuff. So just be careful if you are trying to take it apart. But if you're successful, let me know down in the comment section if you were able to swap them, because I know a bunch of people were interested in that, and they wanted to get both to do that exact same thing, and they were asking me about it. So it's attempting to do that for you today, but it just it didn't work out. So I'm going to wash out my wound here, and a little scrape on the pointer finger too, and call it a day. Move on to something else. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.